never thought that Pootie Tang would bring me friends and notoriety until my best friend pushed the idea of performing it. I did forensics from 7th grade through my senior year of high school, but it wasn't until that senior year that I realized how forensics had done wonders for my social life and my self-confidence. Today I'm going to explain to you what high school forensics is, and how my friends and I decided to choose Pootie Tang along with these and how that worked out for us. To understand how Pootie Tang came to be, you need to understand some things about my high school. I went to a really strange, very small school in southeast Michigan called Roper, which is one of the big 3 private schools in the area. If you ever lived around there, it's the RD one without money, where there was kind of a different social hierarchy. Sports were popular, but there wasn't really a jock culture. Athletes weren't the most popular kids around because no one really was. I played soccer in high school, but it wasn't like a defining thing for me. Theater was also very big, but it was for a different breed of people than myself. So forensics was the extracurricular of choice for people more like me. Now forensics is a public speech competition which is divided into 2 main categories of public address and interpretation. And my main category was a subcategory of interpretation called multiple, where 3 to 8 people take a script of a movie or a play or a book. You cut it down to 10 or 15 minutes, and you perform it using only chairs as props, and you can't look at each other or you can't touch each other or make direct eye contact. And Roper always was the weird school in forensics competitions because we were almost always doing comedy pieces. Whereas, for an example, I'll give you a typical round of what I went up against. There was Sweeney Todd, about a murderous barber. Blood Brothers, which is a musical about twins who are separated at birth and one grows up and kills the other. And it's called We Interrupt This Broadcast, where they reenacted famous news events such as Columbine and 9/11. In the middle of that was Pootie. So now that you understand the background, you can understand how I got to do this. So Pootie Tang was somehow the most successful piece I ever did. We suffered a lot of early adversity between convincing our coaches that it was a good idea, and getting the script kind of coherent. Now, multiple is 10 to 15 minutes. When we did a read-through of our initial cut of the script, it took 20. So you also need to go to at least 3 tournaments to be able to go to states, and we weren't ready until probably the 4th to last tournament, I believe. Audiences really, really liked us, but judges had a hard time justifying high scores, as you can imagine. Pootie Tang is a film about an urban hero, basically, who is too cool for words and speaks his own language, and fights corporate America and bad people with his magic belt. So in a speech competition where the main character doesn't speak English, you can imagine it's hard to justify a high score. But we somehow managed to make it to the state tournament in the only region in the state where you actually have to compete to get to the state tournament because there's enough of a population where multiple is competitive. We figured that people would like us, but we didn't anticipate the level of response that we got. Pootie Tang led to a huge boost in social promotion. Tons of performers from other schools who were often in other categories would come to our rounds just to watch us. And some of them even became friends with us, hung out with us after the season was over. The professional stand-up duo Frangela, who you might know from various VH1 shows, or He's Just Not That Into You, one of them was an alum of my high school, and they came to do a comedy fundraiser, and we opened for them. And finally, we created a Facebook page, which currently sits at 252 likes. You can look up Pootie Tang the Multiple if you want to. So, in conclusion, Pootie Tang was a surprisingly huge boost in social standing for me, and just a huge success at an unprecedented level. We were given an opportunity that we would have had to succeed. We were given an opportunity that would not have succeeded at any other school. We took a silly idea, we made it successful, and we developed friendships and some level of cult popularity as a result. As of this summer, I've still gotten recognized from it. So I think Pootie Tang stands a testament to the fact that through hard work, even the most ridiculous ideas you have could end up with the best possible outcome.